Hello, everyone. Good? Am I good? Oh, sorry. Just kidding. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Muscatine Today Show. Whew, I'm a little rusty, apparently, from having a week off. But it is Wellness Wednesday on the Muscatine Today Show, so I'm glad you guys all joined us today. It's a little bit brisk outside, but I am going to start off by saying thank you to all of our great sponsors: Muscatine Power and Water, Rivo Plumbing and Heating, R7 Reclaimed Impact Life Blood Center, Lutheran Living, CBI, Toyota of Muscatine, Impact Athletic Performance, who also happens to be our Wellness Wednesday sponsor. And here with us today, Suntan City Muscatine, Real Estate Resource Associates, Unity Point Health Trinity Muscatine, and of course Hy-Vee, as we take over the Market Grill Express this morning to do the show. So we are excited for Autumn to be here with us this morning. We are going to dig in and talk about the 6-week challenge and some of the individuals' successes through that, and what changes they've made, and how they're going to continue those changes and make them true lifestyle changes so that they can continue those and make it a true change that they can continue. And all of those changes that they made are changes that are small enough that it's not just like a crazy thing that is too big to keep doing. And so that's what I love about Impact and love about the things that we do there is we can continue on. It's not something that's unattainable.
It's not a fad diet.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy to be back. It has been definitely past 6 weeks. Mm-hmm. So I forgot to send this to you. So one of the things that I would like to talk about is I never really tell people where I came from.
Right.
So this is from when I first started at Impact.
Uh-huh.
So everyone knew me as just the graphic designer.
Yeah. So
this was me back in December of 2018 to July of 2019.
Wow.
So this is me from 2018.
Uh-huh.
This person right here was borderline almost alcoholic.
Uh-huh.
Was smoking very heavily.
Yep.
My nutrition was either two options. I didn't eat at all.
Yep.
Or I would crave fast food and sugary snacks.
Yep.
And my drinking was either coffee to energy drinks, mm-hmm. no fitness, barely any sleep, and a very poor support system. Mm-hmm. So when I look back at this was right when Impact was about to open.
Yeah.
And I knew to myself, even though people didn't know who I was because I was just behind the scenes,
yep.
I needed to make a change.
Yeah.
So with changing, by quitting smoking, mm-hmm. reducing my alcohol, figuring out a fitness and movement routine for myself, mm-hmm. And then changing my sleeping habits, and most importantly, reestablishing my support system, all of that had changed. But that didn't happen overnight.
Right.
It took months. There was a couple months that I ended up basically relapsing. I lost my grandfather during mm-hmm. that time. So it hit me again. So I went back to drinking a little bit more. And I knew to myself, I was like, wait, what am I doing? Why am I doing this one? Mm-hmm. So I knew over time that it needed to change.
Yeah.
So starting July of 2019, I ended up losing 35 pounds. I noticed that my clothing was changing. I was being able to go back down to the weight that I wanted to be at a healthy weight. Mm-hmm. And over time, I knew that these changes saved my life.
Yeah.
I knew my support system saved my life. So it's very important for people to understand that I'm not just doing this just to do this. I'm I am a coach because I've been through this. I was borderline alcoholic, I was smoking, creating all these bad habits that I knew that those bad habits were not going to do anything for me down the road. So, and then a couple months later, I find out I'm pregnant. So for me, then I'm like, okay, I've got to create this routine. I don't want to be going back to those high sugar cravings. So what am I going to do? I need to find these alternatives. I need to find better ways to keep myself on track. And I was still working out at 41 weeks pregnant. I worked out the Friday before I got induced. Was I sore than while I was trying to go through labor?
Yep.
Yeah, but that was because I had a really good workout. But no, so I forgot to send this to you, but that's where I'm coming from. Dropped down 35 pounds, 2% body fat, and I went down 3 pant sizes.
Wow.
But this didn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
It is a journey, and it's a journey worth fighting for.
Yeah.
So I have this lovely whiteboard again.
Yes.
So I want to ask you, how many different diets do you think there are?
Oh gosh.
Just write a number and then show them what you think.
Oh my gosh. 25.
25. Okay. So what if I told you that there is a billion?
A billion?
So when I'm talking about fad diets, I'm also talking about products that give you the quick fix.
Yeah.
So a fad diet just isn't the keto or 75 hard. It's also the people that are in magazines that says, hey, you want to lose 30 pounds in 30 days? You see those all over tabloid magazines.
Yep.
Then you see, hey, take this pill or take this product and it's going to help you lose weight. Well, then what ends up happening when you stop doing that? 2/3 of the people that end up doing those kind of fad diets and products for the quick fixes end up gaining the weight back and more.
Yeah.
So you see it over tabloids, it's the magazines, lose to 30, it's not realistic and it's not sustainable.
Yeah.
Our bodies can't do that forever. So when we look at over time, we're creating healthier versions of ourselves that is realistic and that we can do every single day.
Yep.
So it's 3 simple things. Also, if you haven't, head over to Impact's Facebook page. There's a lovely nutrition talk workbook.
Yep.
So we're going to be talking about how to reset your health in 3 simple steps. So it is over on our Facebook page.
Yep.
So what we want to do is you need support.
Yeah.
You need to be able to also get on track and to take action.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about all that today. So when we look at ourselves, we look in a society that, we're constantly busy. You're on the move, you're always going, something happens, we have a little hiccup in our day.
Yep.
Ends up maybe ruining the day. Sometimes we wake up, we start automatically feeling overwhelmed.
Yep.
Like, oh my God, I have all this to do, what am I gonna do? Then you feel frozen. Then what ends up happening? You end up not getting done what you're wanting to do because you automatically start thinking in a negative format.
Yep.
What happens if you just start your day in a positive format? Positive gratitude.
Yep.
Then what's gonna happen? You're gonna end up getting things that you want accomplished.
Yep.
Have you ever done this?
I mean, generally, yeah.
Minus what's recently going on.
Yeah.
Overall, have you ever just woke up and felt overwhelmed, like, oh my God, what am I gonna do?
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of days when I wake up and I'm like, oh gosh, I have a million things to get done today. How am I gonna get it all accomplished?
And then by the end of the day, do you ask yourself, what did I even do today?
Yes.
But do you also realize that you've done stuff, but maybe not your entire list?
Right. Yep.
And then what ends up happening?
Then I feel like I've totally failed.
Yes. I am just as guilty for this.
Yep.
Being a full-time mom and a full-time business owner, even if I write down my to-do list, there are some times that maybe I'm writing that list a little too long.
Yep.
that all of a sudden I look at the empty check marks rather than the check marks themselves.
Right. Yeah.
That is just today's society. We're in that microwave format that we feel like we have to be getting so much accomplished that we don't actually look at what we've already done.
Yeah.
We don't look at the big picture.
Right.
When that big picture is what keeps us going throughout the day.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you this. What do you think are the top 3 things that most of our nutrition athletes have in common that has helped them through the success of their journey?
Have in common? I would say probably their support system. You want me to write this down?
Yep. So I want you to write down the top 3 things that nutrition athletes that have transformed themselves, living their best life, have in common. So what are 2 more items?
I would say support system, maybe routine, having like a routine.
Write it down.
Okay.
We'll go over it.
Routine and
It's okay, write whatever comes to mind.
I don't know, healthy habits.
Okay. So, first one, and this is going to be on the second page. So, shift your mindset. So we all have one body. We have to be able to take care of it over time.
Yep.
But that's not just physical, but it's also mental.
Yeah.
So when we look at mindset, we talked about how we live in a microwave society. Problem is with health and nutrition, we want instant results, but unfortunately that doesn't always happen.
Right.
So we have to focus on one thing at a time. So when I do my ongoing nutrition, we are a one habit focus.
Yep.
We will work on that for probably about 4 weeks before we even do anything else, whether it is maybe getting movement in 3 times a week, getting veggies in for lunch and dinner, getting 50 to 60 ounces of water just to start. We focus on that one habit, the one habit that you need the most to be able to help achieve your goal.
Right.
So we focus on shifting your mindset.
Yep.
Also, when it comes to that, when people think about their shifting their mindset, they end up thinking about like their goals or their macros or meal plan. Now, I don't give you a piece of paper and say, here you go.
Yeah.
I don't give you a meal plan. I give you a meal plan guide to use as a reference.
Right.
But I don't all of a sudden start giving you, hey, here's your calorie, you have to do this. Here's your macro, you need to be able to intake this. That just adds more stress and triggers, especially if this is your first time ever going through this. My most important thing about it is I want you to, half plate of veggies. Most of the time that I end up referencing when it comes to how to plan out and portion is by hand reference. I don't say you need to have 4 ounces of this and 6 ounces of this and such.
Yeah.
So I make sure I break it down in a more realistic format that is very easy for you to attain over time. So without looking at this beautiful sheet of paper,
yes.
I would like you to write down these 6 elements of a healthy lifestyle. So the 6 elements of a holistic approach. Let's see if you remember.
Oh my gosh.
I'm putting you on the spot today.
I know.
It's okay.
Okay. So the 6 elements of a healthy, okay. So definitely mindset's one, right? Or wait.
Lifestyle.
I'll
give you that one.
Lifestyle. I don't know. My brain's not working.
Yes, I know. So what about food?
Eating.
Starts with an N.
nutrition.
Yep.
Oh God.
And then what do you do at the gym?
Workout.
Uh-huh. What do you do at nights?
5.
Trigger points. Starts with an S. And what am I? What am I to you? There we go. Yep. So we have nutrition. So when we talk about food.
Oh, I spelled nutrition wrong.
Oh, well. We have exercise.
Yes.
Finding daily movement.
Yep.
We have stress. How do we shift the stress into trigger points? How do we control those? Our sleep, because we all need sleep. And then lifestyle, which is our self-care portion. And then most important one is our support and accountability. So when I sit down with you as an ongoing coach, we break down what do you struggle with when it comes to these 6 elements, and we work on those particular ones. Now how we do that is saying, okay, hey, my exercise is poor. Okay, what's a short-term goal you want to do? I want to work out 3 times a week. All right, so now what we do is we break that down into action steps. And that's how we achieve these short-term goals and long-term goals. We break them down element by element and finding the action steps that we need to take in order to achieve that success. All right, so then the next part is going into step 2, which is find your tribe, find your support. So I always tell people, I am your number 1 accountability and support system, but you also need more than just myself or Scott. So I always say, one of my favorite questions is, can you name 5 people that support you in your health and wellness goals? Do you also can name 5 people that want to go out on a Friday, Saturday night and drink? Typically, what ends up being the higher list, it ends up being the people who want to go out on a Friday, Saturday night. So you want to find 5 people at least that you spend the most time with, that support you in your health and wellness goals. Now there is a difference between when I say support you and actually doing it with you. There are some that are like, hey, I'll support you, but I'm still gonna do my own thing.
Right.
At least then you're gonna look at them saying, okay, are they doing their own thing without shoving it in my face?
Right.
Or are they going to keep what they do to themselves and still be there and support me along my route? So there is a total difference in that atmosphere, because it sometimes doesn't always work like that. You have to identify who's going to be there on your side and be there for you. I had one when I had sat down with her and I said, you know, what more can I do for you? And her response was, she's like, you're the mirror I don't want to look at. It was a compliment, apparently. But I was like, I did the same face. I was like, okay. You're welcome. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it was a realization for her, saying, you know, I look at you in the sense that you are the constant reminder that I need to continue doing what I'm doing today to see the success. Because if she doesn't look at me and she doesn't hear from me, then she doesn't have anyone.
Right.
So it was a very you're welcome, thank you. I don't know how to take this, but you know, it worked. But yeah, it's the saying, you know, I'm the little voice in people's heads now. I used to tell athletes like that would say, you know, the whole shoulders down and back, and it's like Scott's in their head. And I made the joke all the time. I was like, well, hey, you know, you can be in women's head when it comes to those situations. Right. Now I'm the voice in their head saying, what would Autumn think if I had this? Or what would Autumn say if I ended up having this, you know, major high sugar coffee drink? Right. I've had one girl that did the challenge that she has not done any Starbucks or soda during the 6-week challenge because of the nutrition talk. She understood about the elements of the added sugar, that she has been like high sugar free. Awesome. I was like, that's amazing. Yeah. And she's like, you were that little voice in my head that said, hey, what would Autumn think if I ended up having this? Yeah. And then what would happen from there? It would spiral down and she would want to go back for more. Right. So yeah, every habit that we focus on ends up becoming your routine. Your tribe ends up being the people that are going to support you in the success that you want for yourself.
Yep.
If you don't have that support, come to me, because I will never sugarcoat a situation. You know that. Yeah. It's very easy to fall back into habits because we maybe have the people who aren't the best in that support system.
Yeah.
Maybe they want to go out and, drink until 2 o'clock in the morning, and they'll get, hammered, and here you are having a drink and then water in between.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden they're going to be like, well, you're boring.
Yeah.
No, I'm taking care of myself.
Right. Yep.
One of my other athletes had just had that. She was doing exactly that. With every alcoholic drink, she'd have a glass of water in between. And they called her out and they said, why are you doing that? That you're not having fun. She's like, no, I am, but I'm also taking care of myself. Mm-hmm. You can still have fun and still hydrate at the same time.
Yep.
So I was like, you can tell your friends, I'm not sorry for you taking care of yourself and doing what you need to be doing for your body.
Right, yeah.
So
support's very important.
Yeah, support is important. I like that.
Yes.
I'll have to keep that.
Support is important.
So I want you to ask yourself this. Are your daily habits moving you towards or away from your goals? Mm-hmm. When you think about your routine and you think about the goals that you've made for yourself, is your daily routine affecting you from achieving your goals? Mm-hmm. Because, we have great intentions, but roadblocks do get in the way.
Yeah.
Think about building a house. It's, a house is built on solid foundation. We have workers going brick by brick to make this amazing house. It's a process. Now, same thing goes for your life. You are starting from ground zero, and your daily habits become your life. You are working on every single element, but sometimes a hiccup happens. Maybe something doesn't come into play. Do you feel like all of a sudden you need to tear down and start all over, or do you pick back up from where you were? Mm-hmm. Roadblocks, they happen. It's part of your routine. They're all of a sudden, now my son's with me because daycare being temporarily closed. So now my routine got a little mixed up. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh crap, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
Am I gonna stop eating? No, I'm not gonna stop eating. I'm gonna still make sure that I'm staying in my routine, but obviously now having to do a little adjust and adapt situation.
Right.
So, what are some things that we can do to reset? We are able to then take action into this, and this is the toughest part. It is very hard to say, hey, I need help. Okay, that's great, let's set time. Well, I have this going on, or I have this going on, or I have vacation. I had a lot of that happen during this past 6-week challenge, where people are like, well, I'm gonna travel and I'm gonna do this and I'm going on vacation. And so I kind of look at them and say, so you can't eat veggies and drink water and get, good amount of sleep. Well, I can't control the veggie part. You can. I know you can. You can control your water part too. So it's very easy to make excuses and to say, well, hey, I'm just gonna push this off, push this off, push this off. Yeah. And then all of a sudden they disappear. And so when it's time to take action, you're saying, hey, I need to do this for myself. Okay, let's start. There's no stopping, let's just do this. Laura Custis did my 28-day challenge, and she's been doing ongoing. I asked her, I said, hey, what's a piece of advice you can give to people who want to start? She literally says, don't wait, start now, be prepared to eat a lot of food. Because you do. Mm-hmm. You eat a lot of veggies, you eat starch, you eat protein, you eat fats. But it's very important to just start. When you say the wrong things and make excuses, it makes it harder to start.
Yeah.
Your habits, obviously, you just become a part of your routine, a part of your life. What you just recently went through. Mm-hmm. It's very difficult to say, okay, where do I go from here?
Yeah.
And you know me, I'm very supportive. It's a traumatic situation, but what do? I help you build up. I told you right away, you have an army of supporters. Mm-hmm. You have an army of people there to support you and get you back up on your feet. Mm-hmm. And it's never an easy situation, but you know you're not alone, mm-hmm. which makes it nice. So having your tribe, you know your goals, take action. It's very easy. It's not easy, it's tough. It's easier said than done, but it's doable.
Yep.
So when I'm talking about resetting your health, it's knowing your goals. What do you want to accomplish within 6 months? Why you want to accomplish it? And how are you going to feel when you get there?
Yep.
It's the why is the most important part to creating your goals. Whether it's, wanting to eat healthier, establishing a routine, getting back into the gym. It's very easy to say, okay, I want to do this, and then there's no action behind it.
Right.
We get a lot of that people say, hey, I need to go to the gym. Okay, cool. Let's get you signed up. Let's get you a movement assessment in. They get signed up, and then they don't show up. So then what do? My job is to support and accountability. If I don't see you, I message you and say, hey, I saw that you didn't come into class. What's going on? How can we help? Well, I had this, and this. Okay, we have the class option online, so then you can still do the workouts from home. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't have a sandbag. You have a backpack? Well, yeah, fill it up. There you go. You have a sandbag. Mm-hmm. You have a pink one. Mm-hmm. Yes, I do. You do have the pink one.
Yep.
Woohoo. And for example, you have softball. So it's very hard for you to come into class, but you're able to do the workouts from home.
Yep.
And I still get Snapchats Scott gets the Snapchats, but we still see the after workout results. Yep. Of just dripping in sweat.
Yep.
So what are some other things that we can do to help reset? Adding more whole foods in your life. Mm-hmm. So we have the plate method. Yep. We have half plate of veggies. We have a quarter plate of non-starchy carbs, a quarter plate of protein, lean protein, and then adding in some healthy fats, avocado, olive oils, and whatnot. Then we have wonderful hydration. So as you can tell, you have your water, I have mine. Yep. Always carrying some sort of a water container that we can keep with us, adding a straw. If you don't like plain water, add some flavor to it. Mm-hmm. Then movement, at least getting 3 times a week of movement, at least the minimum 30 minutes for each exercise, whether it's walking, going to the gym, running, biking, something movement related.
Right. Yeah. Anything.
Literally anything. If you want to go mow your lawn, go mow your lawn. That is movement. If you are using your body more than you know. Mm-hmm. And I know when Scott comes, he's going to be talking about a 4-letter S word that starts in the winter. Your body is working and moving, and you'll be sweating. So he loves talking about that one, just so you know. I know. Focusing on balance, making sure that with every snack and every meal, you're incorporating a carb, protein, and a fat. It's going to help you stay fuller longer, and it's just going to be more balanced throughout your day. We talked about limiting sugar. We did this a couple times, looking at old processed foods, what sugar is in soda. We got that good realization. Mm-hmm. For women, no more than 6 teaspoons. For men, no more than 9. And I got a question for you. How many pounds of sugar do you think the average person consumes in a year?
In a whole year.
In a year.
Yeah, I bet it's gross. Like 25?
Let's try 150.
Oh my gosh.
So
150 pounds?
150 pounds of sugar is what the average person consumes in a year. That is 46 teaspoons of sugar per day. That's average.
Wow.
So it's very addicting, obviously, and it's found in a lot of different food produce, a lot of processing, and also sugary drinks. So another question I get is, what if I don't like veggies? Which, when I was going through the 6-week challenge, we talked about the food options guide. And I had them go through and say, hey, how many of these have you tried? I actually had a couple of them say, I haven't even tried half of these yet. And I was like, okay, all right, this is new. Like, I haven't experienced this one yet. But I've heard it so many times now that people are like, well, I'm just not a huge fan of veggies. I'm still trying to get my son to eat veggies. He'll do them pureed, but if he looks at a piece of broccoli, it goes to the floor and goes to Leia. I'm like, okay, this is new. So let's try thinking about ways of cooking them, whether you're roasting them, adding your own flavor, air fry them. I love to do like carrots as bacon, and I'll put them in the oven and broil them up. Even trying adding veggies into smoothies. I use a lot of spinach in my smoothies. Very easy, flavorless. Yes, you get the green color, but that's where you can add in all of your, I add a protein powder, I add in fruit, I add maybe a little bit of cinnamon, but incorporating the veggies in a very easy way and a grab and go situation.
Right.
So, and then of course we were just talking about this, when do I start? Now. There's no particular time that you have to be starting this. There's never a perfect time, but you have to be able to commit to yourself. Ask yourself, can I commit at least 3 months? Start a 3-month journey and see where it goes from there.
Yep.
It's simple, but it's not an easy thing to do. It's a huge lifestyle change. That's why I never say diet.
Yep.
Do not use the word diet, because die is in diet. A diet fades. A fad diet goes away after a time. This is a lifestyle change.
Right.
I made the lifestyle change, and it made me realize, okay, I want to be able to offer this for everyone else, because doing it without the information that I have now was a crazy journey. But it was because of these 6 elements that I changed in the matter of 7-8 months made my life where it is now.
Right.
So, if you're really, if you need help, you need to create a new accountability and support system. That's where Impact is a great place to go. You've been there now since March?
Yeah.
Has it been March? Yes, it has been March. This year flew. That's terrifying. It's already September. Yeah, so March you've been there.
Yep. And
you've seen the amount of support and the welcoming amount of people that have been in this.
Yep.
I was very thankful for the nutrition challenge. I had 20 people, and over half of them were non-members. And
that's awesome.
It was all because of being on the show and other people saying you need to try this. It was all word of mouth. And I was very thankful because, everyone's like, how'd you hear about us? I heard you from the show. How'd you hear about us? Oh, Angie Horton and Laura Custis and Terry Walsh and Megan. I was like, oh my gosh, you guys, thank you.
Awesome.
Like,
yes.
It's awesome. I love it.
And such good results.
Amazing results. I was blown away by it. I have a Facebook page, and this Facebook page was a little bit different than my first one. A lot of good things, but there's a couple times, and maybe it's just because of vacations, that all of a sudden people went radio silent. But then I looked and I was like, everyone's on vacation. I'm like, oh, well, this was a weird week. But it happens because it's the end of summer. Everyone's trying to get those last minute ones in.
Yep.
Very cool. When we look at our nutrition program, it's all a habit-based approach, one habit at a time, using the 6 elements. We utilize all the nutrition tools and foundations that we can make a realistic plan for you. No meal plan, restricted meal plan. It's a meal plan guide. And like I said, I don't restrict things. Do we learn to reduce habits, maybe bad habits? Yes, over time then they're gone. But I will never say, hey, you can't have Starbucks ever again. I think you would cry.
I'd cry.
I think I would cry if someone told me I can't have coffee ever again.
Yes.
if someone told me I can't have wine ever again, I think I'd cry.
Yes.
So, but what have I done is I've reduced it. So there's a difference. Everything is adjustable. Everything is adaptable. We make it realistic at a pace that you need to have it at.
Right.
But yeah, so I think I had sent you some of the transformations.
Yeah, we've got some of the transformations that we can pull up, and it was cool to see, especially since you always have us wear like the same clothing. I mean, even with, you know, when you look at somebody and he's pulling some of them up now, but when you're like, oh, I only lost 3 pounds, or I only lost this much, and you're like, oh, but it looks so different when you know.
So that is Lindsay Jackson. She started just a couple months ago. And I told her about the challenge because she wants to go into nutrition, ongoing nutrition after this. And she was shocked by the way her challenge results were, because she said she didn't feel a difference. I was like, well, how are your clothes fitting? You know, how are your pants size? Because her hips had gone down, her waist had gone down. She even said, she's like, yeah, my pants are a lot looser. Yeah. And I tell people this all the time, that maybe that scale number didn't change, but how are you mentally feeling and how are your clothes fitting? Because your inches go away. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, my shirts, you know, and everything there. Sean has been with us since almost the beginning of when we first opened Impact. So he does our sports performance and our recovery. And when I sat down with him, right away, he's like, I can tell you I didn't lose anything. And his goal was 10 pounds. He stepped on that scale and I said, what was that? He's like, oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, literally all of a sudden that he came in with a negative. Yep. Stepped on that scale, we did the inches, and he's like, oh, okay, like I feel better. Yeah. And he was a really, he's a character. Yes. Oh my gosh, you've taken recovery classes with him. He's hilarious. He's fun. But I'd ask, you know, who's your accountability? Who's your support system? I'm independent. I was like, I'm gonna break you of that. Like, I'm gonna steer you wrong. And right away, and I said, hey, how is your support system, you know, in the routines of having a nutrition coach? He's like, it helped a lot. Yeah. I don't know if you had seen a couple of his meal prep dances. I should have saved those. Oh, yes. He's such a ham. So that's Mary, and she was our winner for this 6-week nutrition challenge. She's getting married in a couple weeks. Yeah. Also with her, she started in a new school and is obviously in a new classroom being a teacher. And right away she said, I just need confidence and I need to feel better in my body. And I said, okay, that is our focus, is just building self-confidence. Yep. So each week we focused on one habit at a time, starting with nutrition, with understanding the importance of the plate method, hand portion sizes, all the way through hydration, exercise, sleep, stress, and triggers. And she met up with me in the right before school started. And I said, how do you feel going into school? I'm stressed, I'm scared, you know, I don't know what's gonna happen. So right away, we understood of meal planning, just having an idea of what her lunches are going to be like, making sure she's still keeping up with hydration, that she came in and she stepped on that scale. She felt so much better. She was happy. And right away, she said, confidence and the ability to make my well-being a priority. She knew that her health was what was important to her. That's awesome. And then that's Laura. Yeah. And Laura started in my 28-day challenge, and she was the 28-day challenge winner. And seeing her transformation was incredible. And she's still going. She's still getting to her goal weight. And then we're going to be focusing on how to maintain and where she needs to go from there. But you can just tell even by how she comes in her clothes obviously are a lot looser. Just her overall personality and mental state, she's a lot more clear in her mindset and where she wants to be. She's feeling better overall. She was an inspiration to her daughter who did the challenge, and now her husband is at the studio. Obviously, her son is on the golf team with Scott, so he's always been determined and headstrong as well. So the Custis family is just amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I believe there was one more. Maybe? Oh, there she is.
There she is.
Angie. So she's actually wearing the same shirt.
I know.
So that was the first photo on the left is from February, and then the photo on the right was beginning of August. And she just overall, you can tell her stress level was her number one area because her being a teacher, her stress was always getting to her. She would come in when she first started and start venting kind of when she'd get into the studio.
Yeah.
And I've told her, leave it at the door. This hour in the studio is for you. She's now decreased on her alcohol because that was one of her high things. She's dropped down on that. She's staying exercise Monday, Wednesday, Friday at the studio. She's running on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Her stress level is down, her meal planning and prepping throughout the week, she's staying successful in that. She's staying balanced in her foods. I love hearing from her because she will message me if like the school brings food or something. She's like, hey, I just want to let you know, I still brought my lunch. People are having this, but I'm sticking to what I have.
Yeah.
Her hydration is there. That was one thing that she was really low on. And she makes the joke now, she's like, I'm so thankful I have an assistant so I can still be able to hydrate and stay where I need to be.
Yep.
I've loved seeing her transformation, especially
That's
dropping
awesome.
down in that shirt. So
Yes.
she's
19 pounds, that's awesome.
19 pounds, 2%, 22 inches, and she's still going from there too.
Yeah.
So
That's
I've been
awesome.
very happy to see the results and all the hard work that athletes have gone in.
Very cool.
Now with the challenge being over with,
Yeah, what's next?
well, my goal was to have half do ongoing coaching.
Yep.
And I have 9 of them starting.
Awesome.
So I was very happy, all non-members, so very happy to see impact grow, not only just in fitness, but also ongoing coaching.
Yes.
I love our Facebook group because that right there is a great support system, and just encouraging everyone to continue doing what they're doing.
Yep. Awesome.
So
very cool.
from here, I'm going to wait till golf season is over with, and then I'll continue. But I'm going to be doing, obviously, still working through here. We have Over the Edge,
Yes.
which I'm super excited for that. I don't know if I'm adrenaline rush is probably going to kick in.
Yes.
And then later that evening, we have Walk to End.
Yeah.
That's all coming up this month.
That's exciting.
So, huge committee board.
Yes. Very exciting.
I hear someone.
Oh, Patrick's getting mad. He's ready for mommy.
Hi, Patrick.
Well, today was so informational. I think these are all things that everyone, even people who feel like they have it all together, and feel like they have it all figured out, can still learn something from this approach, and can always improve on what they're already doing. So
yeah, I'm still growing every day. I'm not perfect. I'm nowhere near it, but at least I still have the determination and I don't give up.
Right.
Are some days harder than others? I mean, yesterday Patrick was going through a toddler tantrum.
Yep.
And for me, I had to stop everything just because he wanted love and snuggles.
Yep.
And so, yeah, every day is a new journey, but I create small goals for myself every day to get to my big picture.
Yep. Yeah. So if you guys are interested in being part of the nutrition side of Impact, come and check it out. Have a session with Autumn and see what it's all about. Find out more about some of these things that she does at Impact, and find out about the fitness side of Impact as well. You can always do, first class is free for that as well. So it's always fun. Wellness Wednesdays are fun. I always learn something. Sorry, my brain wasn't working fully.
It's okay.
But it's okay. It's fine. We all have those days.
It's a 4-day week.
It's a 4-day week. It's been a week already. I feel like it should be Friday.
If it makes you feel better, I thought Monday was Friday, so we literally are saying it's a day that ends in Y.
Yes.
That's our life.
One of the day. It's a day. It's a
Patrick
day.
agrees.
Yes. It's a day. It's one of the days. Well, I am so glad that you guys joined us today. Thank you for coming on the show. I want to remind you all, quick little plug, Fruitland Fun Days is this weekend.
Okay.
Friday is the Glow Parade. It's the first one ever. So come down and enjoy that. If you have a golf cart or anything like that, glow it up, put some lights on it, come down, you just show up, line up. We're gonna have a little glow parade around Fruitland, just a fun little thing. There's a run walk that next morning, so that'll be fun. You can still register for that, as well as just a ton of kids activities. Bands will be playing that Saturday. There's a kids talent show you can still sign up for on Saturday, but tons of bands, bounce houses, all sorts of stuff. A huge car show. There's an annual car show. It's normally one of the biggest in the area, so come down and hang out with us in Fruitland this weekend. I'll be talking about it all week because that's my town, so come down and visit and hang out down with us in Fruitland. Lots of good bands and stuff going on down there this weekend. So.
Oh my gosh, so this weekend's Fruitland.
I know.
And then Love Like Loudon.
I know.
And then Over the Edge.
I know.
And Walk to End.
I know.
Anything else? I don't think so.
Almost Friday.
Almost Friday.
Yeah.
Oktoberfest. And
it's so much going on.
Homecoming weekend is the same weekend as, oh my gosh. That is a weekend.
Yes, it's going to be busy. So, hopefully you guys have everything on your calendars and are ready.
I think I need
get
to
a lot of
update
sleep.
mine. Yes, sleep and hydration and get
be ready.
Food.
Yes.
Food. All the food.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us for Wellness Wednesday on the show. We're glad that you joined us. Until tomorrow, when I see you again, don't forget that kindness is free. So spread that stuff wherever you go.
Here at Total Muscatine, we believe it's important to be strong supporters of our local community.
And that's why we donate thousands upon thousands of dollars to local Muscatine charities each year.
It's the reason why all of our employees are local to the area and have a vested interest in our community.
Even Daisy and Dilly keep it local by visiting the local dog park.
So remember, when you shop Total Muscatine, you're not only sure to get great service, but you're here also supporting local.